Hi, we are here to present MyCyFAPP, an app that will support cystic fibrosis patients and their carers along the treatments and the daily routine. In this video, I'll focus on a specific feature of the app, which is the food recording. This feature will support patients and carers in the nutrition, such as to help the patients to eat better, have healthy and balanced nutrition, and also to calculate enzyme dosage. At the same time that it does this support, it needs the patients to record their food intake and their enzyme intake. In the next minutes, I'll walk through the app mockup to show how this feature is envisioned. This is the mockup of the MyCyFAPP app. At the bottom, you'll see different sections of the app corresponding to the different core features of the application. We'll be talking about the food recording, the section that's represented by the icon on the leftmost part of the bottom section. This view shows the food recording first page. As you can see, the landing page presents an overview of the meals eaten already today, plus the entry points to add new meals that haven't been added so far, editing the existing meals, plus links on the top which allow the user to see the meals that have been added on the previous day or in a selected date in a calendar. We'll look at the meals added on the previous day. As you can see, we have all the different meals eaten yesterday, including the time when they were eaten, the consistency in terms of which food was eaten in that meal, the different nutrition factors of that meal, and the amount of crayon that was taken during that meal. If you look carefully, you'll see an exclamation mark near the crayon on the dinner of yesterday. That exclamation mark is there because the amount of crayon was not registered for that meal, and therefore the patient should register the crayon for that meal. Now we will click in one of those meals in order to see what actually has been consumed on that day. Let's click on breakfast. Here we can see the timestamp when the meal was eaten. We can see the food list which compose this meal with buttons for editing and removing items. We can see the recommended crayon and actually how much crayon was taken. We can see at the bottom a button to add foods that could be missing and another button to cancel and go back to the overview. We will click here as to add a new meal corresponding to the lunch of today. The view showing the creation of the meal is a bit empty at the moment because no food has yet been added to that meal. So we will start by adding food. Here you have the option of adding food, which could be both simple food such as milk or salmon, or can be a dish such as, for example, salmon sushi. You could select food in between your favorites, but also search in the database. When clicking in an item within the food items that are suggested by the app, you can see its nutritional facts, a picture, a barcode, and the types of servings, plus also buttons for adding this food to the meal or saving it to your favorites. Back here at the food screen, we also see the different amounts which will be based on the different type of food to be selected. So that deciliters will be present for liquids, grams for solids, and so on. It's also possible to add food in case there is a food that you couldn't find in your database. Another way to add food is to go through recipes. Recipes correspond to basically dishes, but in addition to the dish in terms of the ingredients and nutritional facts, it also has the information on how to cook this dish. You have here in recipes the option to select a recipe from your favorite recipes or again from the whole database. If we click at one of the recipes from the database, you'll be able to see the receipt where we have the description of the receipt, the number of portions, the cooking time, ingredients with nutritional facts, the instructions, the overall nutritional facts. The second phone, in fact, consists to what would be the sliding image of the phone when you are sliding through your screen. So you can see the continuation of the information there. So the energy, proteins, fat, the type of food, which is salty, the amount of crayon that would correspond just to that recipe, and some social aspects linked to the recipes, such as the rating that was given by different users and different comments. Here you would be able to add it directly to your meal, or to edit so that you can actually adapt the recipe to your tasting and you do not have to enter all the ingredients again. Also, you can add this to your favorites. Assuming that you have selected your recipe, now you should also enter the amount of this recipe that you are eating. At the first times, it may be a bit difficult to estimate how many portions you have eaten. Because of that, we have this helper where you can click on the interrogation mark and you'll be taken to the screen where you can see how much a portion of this food corresponds in terms of a dish. You can actually click through the buttons as to increase the amount of portions and have an idea of how much does that take into the plate, and then select the portion size. When you finish to add the different food to your meal will look like the one you've seen before of breakfast, with the food list, the recommended crayons, and you will then mark how much crayons you are taking with that meal. That's all for this video. We'll be talking about the different features such as recipes, diary, graphs, and notifications on the next videos.